How's everybody doing today? Today, we're going to be going over how to never get stopped out again. And, with that, I'm going to be going over 3 key tips for me when I'm placing my stop loss and placing myself within a trade. For me, a big one is time. What time am I placing myself within the trade, and what time am I looking to be out of the trade? Where's an invalidation level for my trade? Where is, the highest high or the lower low that I know after it gets run, right, we're either going to chop around or, right, not turtle soup that high or low, right? Where is the most protected high or low that I can, right, place myself, above or below, right, to be able to ride the distribution leg? As well as how big is my stop loss need to be with risk management and how many contracts, right, you're risking. If you risk too many, obviously, you're going to be stressing and, go a little bit in a drawdown and close the trade when your trade's never invalidated. A big one is, how confident are you in the trade? Obviously, how many confluencers are on the trade, and right, are you following your plan? All the little things that go along with that. We're gonna go ahead and go into a couple trades here and go over, right, the key invalidation levels, highs and lows, order blocks, rejection blocks, wicks, right, that I like to look for in getting stopped out and or right placing a stop loss. Coming into the chart. Right, let's reset it, and we see that we have broken the internal low, right, turtle souped, and we have started delivering, right, from a 4-hour order block inside of, right, this turtle soup here. The sequence should deliver us higher, right, then we get pushed lower, turtle soup the internals, our low resistance here. So what my plan is going to be for a trade like this and a situation like this for placing my stop loss, I see this low resistance here in the open hourly fair value gap. I'm going to go down to a lower time frame, and we see that it is Monday, our open, so we're in Tuesday. We see our hourly, and we're below, right, previous day equilibrium. And our fib also shows us, right, when we put our swing high into our swing low, we have, right, OTE and our 0.79. Coming down to a 15-minute, right, I like this range, right, from the previous lunch into our high, knowing we have, right, liquidity above the high. We also have our accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right, so we know we should distribute through these highs, not just play around with them. Higher time frame as well. To the 15-minute, we notice we're during the Asia session. I usually don't trade it, but let's see what we get. We get our midnight open. So at this point, the Asia lows look pretty obvious. If it was me and we ran these highs coming into London, I would, short. So now, oh, okay. Thought we'd actually just continue dumping lower, to be honest. So we have the low resistance here, low resistance. We have, right, expanded past the high. But, right, we should see a quick movement lower, right, from our order block here. So in this situation, right, you could place a short for a retracement. In my opinion, I would put it right above the order block. And, right, continue to, see if we can see lower. At that point, right, we see we turtle soup the high into the volume imbalance in the order block, but deliver no higher and start to continue lower. See what the 5-minute looks like. Right, if you're a pattern trader, you're longing this right here. Me, I'm shorting into it, seeing the 5-minute CSID here, and our turtle soup lower. And for me, I'm just gonna add in the market, but I would place another limit right into the CSID here and see if we would get filled. Turtle started to stop at the high. And we wouldn't get filled on that one. So now, with institutional order flow, this high should deliver. We come back into the wick. I want to see it deliver us lower. See where the 15-minute close is, right? We're 5 minutes away from it. To the 15, right? Closing below this, right on the 15, should indicate that we form a breaker and should leave this 15-minute fair value gap open for later. Marking that there. And okay, happens right at 3, and we hit our take profit. At that point, just buy, and this reaction does look good. Okay, never mind. Right, see it, that one 5-minute reaction is not going to warrant my whole trade and me selling, but I would stay wary, and right, we're probably, bound for some retracement now, but right, with us not coming into OT of our range, right, this low should be protected. We may SMT it, but this low should be protected if we're following institutional order flow. So, right, I'm gonna try and ride this out to 0.68, but right at this point we get stop break even, and I would take my trade now coming into London. This is at 3:30, so I really do like the idea of it, but the 1 and 4 hour, right here, 3 or yeah 2, and then to the right here, we look right pretty bearish, and like we could deliver lower, right, but as we come into the lower zone and our hourly fair value gap and the wick here, I'm going to show you probably if we can get into a trade coming into New York, where I would feel like that stop would need to be placed at. If that is, that's fine. Looks like we're just going to be accumulating. That's high, should be safe. We've now delivered buy side, sell side, and EQ the range. Should need to break that high. Right, with that buy side, sell side, balance price range, we should chop, deliver lower. What time are we at? 6:30. 6 just open. So even, right, we want to deliver higher, right? Like we were talking about, we need, if we want to deliver, right, lower, we're going to need to deliver higher first. But at this point, right, it looks like we're going to be more bullish, and be, right, looking to draw into this. And even if it's, into Wednesday, right, Monday looks like it's done the damage. And with how Tuesday's forming into the overnight session, it looks like we're just going to sweep these lows and, look for our reversal right inside of our golden fib range. So, since we've just barely edged my TP, I'm just going to put it, I'm not going to, really, I'm just going to risk to that wick, to be honest with you. And I'll look inside of right here, inside this order block as well. And honestly, right, we'll bring it down just a little bit inside of there. Right, and knowing this wick is sensitive, and then, right, as well as we saw in the hourly, right, inside of the order block, fair value gap open, inside of the wick, and I've, this one sweeps liquidity. I know it's the green candle, but, rejection, or, right, with the sweep and liquidity, liquidating the previous down close candle, we have order blocks inside of this wick, so, and inside of this wick as well, so, right, very bullish delivery. That's why I trust in this low. That's why I trust in this low. Really don't like that, but it honestly should, like, I'm not gonna see like that reversal at 710. Yeah, it should be more at like 720, 30. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out now. And right, that was just to that high, so like 9. Right, not too terrible. Right, we'll put it that high, and that was 2 contracts. So only 323 ticks, but not too terrible. So right now we're seeing signs of reversal. Coming into the 15-minute as well. What seems to want to be a 3 candle model, but right, I'm gonna wait until, I'm just gonna see how we react. I'm gonna want us to create a higher high. I don't want to trade this rejection block. Actually I might. I'm going to trade the hourly one. Oh, I see it came a little bit lower. Anyway, right. We were talking about probably that low getting run anyway. I'm delivering lower. Right, and we come into our low. I did say I want to see it protected, right, but we did turtle soup it and most likely SMT'd it, right, and we're also inside of our right key area that we've put in. We've come in and failed to close below mean threshold of it. So I'm going to be looking to buy here soon. Let me see what the 15, okay. All right, so, right, I'm going to buy here, right, and I'm going to buy in a lot more times so you can have plenty more examples. Just because I know, like, we saw the 15-minute candle flip, right, coming into, right, 5. So here, right, CSID is formed, as well as your breaker. Right, we have a inside candle. It should sweep that low. You enter there, right, bam. Didn't get to quite enter there, right, but sweep that low. Right, and these aren't the targets now. Like, keep in mind we're gonna be going for, right, London targets and Asian targets for the highs. There's no reason to partial inside of this because this is your accumulation and your manipulation, and what should be your right, pre-market manipulation. We'll see if, right, 730 has done the damage and 830 doesn't need to manipulate. But like we said, right, we'd sweep these lows, and I didn't get to buy in there, right? So we'll just see we can get a retracement there. I keep missing the buy, I'm not gonna lie. We should get some type of retracement lower. Even though we do have a breakaway gap. Alright, was able to buy in on that one. So now, at this point, right, with this and my stop here, right, wish we could be in 3 cons, but we're not. Right, into this fair value gap, sweeping internal liquidity, right, with our stop loss being our internal souped low. Stop at the high, take profit at the high. Very bullish day, right? We saw the 4-hour and the higher time frame. We're coming into, let's see, 8:30. So I'm gonna buy in again there. And right, if this one gets stopped out, it is what it is. And even if you're in micros, minis, right, it doesn't, matter whatever you're risking, right? Be comfortable for, your own entry and whatever you're trading. Right, so here now perfectly we align. I don't quite want to take that. It's coming into 9. If we'll see how 9 opens. Didn't want to take that, but I'll take that. Right, either way. We'll see if we can get a retracement. Oh, damn, I missed that one. Right, see, I like those quick retracements that come in, immediate rebalance to the breaker, and then run higher. And it's just kind of like chart time to see like some of those. 1967.50. Oh, it filled me at the top. That's so gay. Right, so we'll come in one more time here, right, and right, this stop will be at break even. And then we should go ahead and continue running with that 9 a.m. open low, right, into the high close, and price should start to spool, right, because we've made it above the highs, and we should see no reaction lower. Bam, just like that. Take profit like 2 at the Asian high, and a little bit higher, and then right above that previous day high on Monday. Right, and that's adding in, right, like 3-4 times. I just would miss like 2 of them. But, if you were like really paying attention, you saw like all the take profits. And then, right, let that 1 minute, we come to the 15-minute time frame. And just see how we react. I don't quite like that reaction. Honestly, no, I kind of do, to be honest. Alright, so we'll take all those off the screen because that was a lot. Coming into your 10. Alright, this is going to be juicy too. Right, we see our 15-minute, right, inside candle, and you think, oh, this closes in the range. We should short to here. Nope, we now have our bullish breaker. Right, closed above. After seeing it in action, we're going to be going over the notes for stop loss placements for CSIDs and OBs, right, you simply want it above or below the OB swing high or low. It's simply the safest, and it keeps you protected if we come into the rejection block or the wick itself. Also, consider adding, right, a stop loss a little bit below or above the wick itself in case we, one, come in and barely wick below it and or create equal lows and you don't want to get filled on that. And especially in situations where we have an SMT and create those equal highs and lows. For your stop loss placement for a turtle soup, if we have like a high time frame FEG and you can get your stop loss under OTE of the FEG, right, that's usually a lot better because you'd want to see us hit equilibrium of the FEG, right, and deliver higher, or either Mohawk EQ and deliver higher. Also, right, you want it to reflect a level where it, the idea of the trade is invalidated if price breaches it. Usually if we have that high time frame fair value gap and it, comes in and taps, a little bit past EQ, right, it usually digs a little bit deeper into OTE. Also, if the FEG is narrow, a tighter stop loss may be sufficient. If it's wide, you might consider a slightly wider stop to account for potential deeper retracements into the FEG and or wait, like you guys saw for, longing and just wait for us to accumulate and either manipulate down one more leg, and or, right, continue running higher or, just accumulate and then SMT or, do whatever. For the general stop loss guideline, you want to always take your risk to reward consideration and not just stretch out your take profit to a place that doesn't make sense. But, you always want to at least aim for a 3-3, a 3-1 or a 4-1. And like we said, like the key point is always making sure that if you get stopped out, it's an invalidation on the trade that you can't just keep re-entering, because I promise you, you're going to re-enter and get FOMO if it's not an invalidation point. So, right, you always want to kind of keep in mind, right, if your RR can be higher, if your win rate can be higher, right, but don't, lose one for the other, if that makes sense, right? Don't try and stretch out your RR and lower your win rate when it doesn't make sense. You're holding past the low-hanging fruit. Always align your stop loss placement with high time free key levels and confluences, right? If the stop aligns with the level like a high probability rejection block, you can also, right, add, it can add extra protection to your position, but it can allow you to add in because you're delivering from a high time frame key level and will deliver more aggressively. By placing your stops at strategic invalidation levels and considering the specific dynamics of each setup, you can protect your trades while allowing, right, your stop while still allowing for some market noise. I just went full dyslexic right there, right? So I'm just gonna leave it in there. It's whatever. If you saw that, that's I don't even have words for that. I've been, recording for like 3-4 hours, so it is what it is. I'm very sorry though. If you, have a bigger stop, you're gonna have to risk smaller, and or just wait for a more, low time frame precise entry. Right, if it's super volatile like we've been recently on NQ, you have wider FEGs, you have more, bigger order blocks, bigger breakers. Right, it allows you to enter the trade and, go ahead and add in instead of, right, putting that risk on to begin with and then, losing and feeling like you need to trade more. Right, as you gain experience and more confidence in your setups, you can gradually tighten your stop losses and see which highs and lows become invalidated, and just show natural progression to understanding price action and precision, and are those precision entries, and really understand those. Sorry. Right, with more chart time and practice, like we just said, your entries should be more precise, right? Allowing yourself to place tighter stops without increasing your risk can it refine and enhance your risk to reward ratio and improve your overall trading performance. It'll, get your sight better. It'll get everything better. Trust me. You just keep grinding over time. It'll get better. Regularly review your trades and assess how your stop loss strategy is working. If you find that larger stop losses are consistently getting hit, it might indicate that further refinement in your entry technique is needed. Right, by being flexible with your stop loss, and focus on continuous improvement, you can manage risk effectively while working towards precise and confident trading over time. let's go ahead and get back onto the chart for one or two more examples, and we'll go ahead and end the video off. I was gonna actually went ahead and cleared everything off, and I was gonna move to a different date, but I remember this looks like this Wednesday where we accumulated overnight, and yeah, we came into a pre-market manipulation, right? And we went ahead and took this one live with the Discord. Right, I'll wait for the 9 open, right, coming into the hourly rejection block, right, we should respect, right, the low here after turtle souping, right, our time-based low with the previous PM liquidity, right, all of our overnight liquidity, and with this turtle soup SMT here, right, delivering us lower into an internal, right, so we can deliver back external. After this happens, right, we come in on the 5-minute. Honestly, right, 2 equal highs, we should go ahead and break that. More equal highs. Right, 905. Honestly, that's a lot less than I thought it would be. So on this point, I'll just buy, because I know like this 830 manipulation should be enough. Right, but if if it was me personally, I would try and wait for like an entry right into OTE of the rejection block. And with my stop right below the low, we'll just do a little ticks. So we'll see what we get. Even if we form this breaker here, right, it should react pretty bullishly. Right, because like we talked about, we have our daily profile for Tuesday coming from Monday. So, right, even if we want to deliver lower, right, Wednesday has already, right, proven the high of week here and tier during London. So for me, it just looks like a New York flip, right, after sweeping previous day PM session into a, higher time frame fair value gap breaker, with our, right, wick for the left and here. Like we saw in the higher time frame, right, all the bodies closed within the range. So for me, it's still, right, not distributed past the wick and the high like we should. And for me at this point, we've already delivered from this fair value gap, so I'd want to see us, right, deliver from the order block if we are going to deliver lower, right? But with the 4-hour into the 1-hour, right, open, low, high, close, it seems more likely like we're going to deliver higher. And damn, I wish I didn't show that, right? But either way, we took it live, so it doesn't really matter. It's not hindsight. So, like we saw, right, add in the order block, and we can add in here, right, after that sweep lower into our rejection block and our high time frame low. And right, as soon as we break this high, right, we should have a true breakout past this high, coming into 930 because it should spool. So we'll see what we do. Well, damn. So now we'll see with this breaker, right, if we can go ahead and get a re-entry. Actually, we got a pretty nice, pretty quick wick down. Honestly, this will be enough for me to like add in more, because I know like coming in at 10, we should go ahead and right reach this right high before 10. And right, we've seen that in a lot of execution videos I posted because of the 1-hour inside of the 4-hour open low high close. And at this point, right, 10 should accumulate and then open low high and then close and then deliver higher inside of the 6, inside of the new 4-hour candle open. Pull that up here. Right, we'll go ahead and add in there, stop below, right, the breaker. Double turtle soup, right, we can add in one more time, right, with the CSID, and then, right, and like we said, right, it's not full CSID. Let's fucking move these executions. Just change time frames real quick, they're getting in my way. Right, but the sweep and then liquidation and then move back into the range. So we should be good to go ahead and go right back into the rejection block. If we get one more wick lower, I'll add back in. All right, so we should go ahead and expand. Right, like I said, our low is safe. Looks like we had new news. So, right, like we said, keep our stop safe. At this point, right, we probably have a 15-minute FEG. we've actually come into, right, and like we see, right, our stop is below OT of that FEG. Um, and right, stuff like that just comes from right iron. And even though I was a little bit high and almost got ticked out, but right, even here, we'll see if we can get a retracement somewhere like in this wick. At this point, right, we technically should be out full, but we'll see what we can get. Retracement. So right at this point, right, we see that wick like we talked about. So still stop below the data low. And then we go ahead and deliver, right? And so that's like a couple different trades where we added stops on stops on stops on stops. And even though this one like low key made me shit my pants when we dropped news, right? We still didn't hit that first one, right? Because we were in here, stop below the low, didn't hit it, and we were, still good to go. So at this point, right, you just let it expand and keep expanding and, pull out a take profit. Yeah, there we go. So, right, and that's just, we saw the 15-minute FEG inside the 5-minute wick, inside of the, high volatility candle news that I wasn't expecting. And we still, right, came back into that wick, right, protected low, delivered higher, right, to the data high. Right, and faded Dodgy's FEG because we didn't sweep liquidity to go ahead and have to deliver higher, so that's not an A plus IFEG. Anyway, I'm just trolling, but yeah, that's my best representation of how I like to put stops on, and just kind of coming on and showing some notes, showing some charts, and not trying to bore you to death. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.